Hello to all of you. I just wanted to take this opportunity to share some ideas with you because three things came onto my radar screen recently that provided the impetus for this missive. First was Abby raising the focus of corporate power at the faculty meeting this week. And then there's an email request by Alicia wanting to bring faculty together to discuss books, including Hawkins' Drawdown. And the announcement yesterday of the EPA rescinding the Obama-era Clean Water Rule. So, what do these seemingly disparate events trigger my desire to send this? Well, first, it is hopefully to start a conversation that may inform the visioning into the future of the department. But ultimately, is how well we are serving our students to be proactive change agents on the landscape in an era where system shifts are being driven by the climate changing at an increasing rate. And it is a call to consider Abby's point about corporate power, but possibly in a broader context that she may have been positing it in. I just say may because I cannot understand all that she had in mind when raising the point. Now, this might be considered the musings and wanderings in thought of an old man, but bear with me since I'm bringing together experiences from my lens of my practice over a number of decades. So some of you may not be aware of the Clean Water Rule that the Trump administration has just rescinded. But it is a rule based on a compendium of scientific analysis and understanding that extended the jurisdiction of the Clean Water Act to protect headwaters and isolated wetlands that are essential and contribute to the goals of this act, and that is to maintain the ecological integrity of the waters of the United States. In essence, the act and the subsequent rule was addressing water security for our citizens. The announcement of rescinding the rule was framed by the US EPA Administrator Andrew Wheeler as, I quote, puts an end to an egregious power grab, eliminates an ongoing patchwork of clean water regulations, and restores a long-standing and familiar regulatory framework. Today's actions fulfill a key promise of President Trump and sets the stage for a definition with greater regulatory certainty for farmers, landowners, home builders, and developers nationwide. Now, as a practicing wetland scientist for the last 30 years or so, I have spent this aspect of my professional life ensuring that developers, at a minimum, develop in a manner that is within the context of the existing rules. Now, these rules were designed to both protect the nation's resources, but also internalizes the cost of damaging ecosystem services. And these are services that ultimately support the very organizations and businesses that exist because they are present. Now, the reality of the cost of following the rules in no way offset the loss of compromise of the ecosystem services. But ultimately, as a wetland scientist, I'm cognizant I'm operating in a constitutional system that necessarily balances private property rights and the public trust doctrine. But the decades of experience has taught me to delve deeper into the business motivations for decision-making so to better understand the corporate leverage points I can use as an outsider to not only ensure adherence with the regulations, but go beyond those regulations to attempt to ensure that the ultimate development is the least impactful to the environment as the current best available knowledge will allow. Now, as we do in many of our communication classes, I need to go beyond the person and understand the framework and the system of beliefs under which they are operating to be effective. Thus, within my framework for protecting the environment, I need to walk and talk corporate speak. Now, what struck me about EPA administrator's statement was the turn of phrase power grab, which was embedded within the lens of constraining economic development. Now, power unto itself is neither good or bad. It is a result of historical circumstances. What brings it into the ethical realm of social justice, which has been a theme we have seen in how we teach about corporate power in the advocacy and political economy courses. But the reality is that all our students will be working at least a third of their remaining years in a multiplicity of organizational types that have both an environmental and social justice footprint. Some will be mission-driven, such as Badger up in Gilson. Some will be striving to produce the least impactful products in the most efficient manner, such as the zero-energy housing constructed by Unity Homes here in Keene. But many do not. They are focused on providing societal goods and services and employing people. And this is not bad unto itself. Again, it is really how those running those organizations, those with positional power, make decisions of how those goods and services are created and provided by the employees. Which brings me to the drawdown initiative that we introduced the entering cohort of master's students to. The original document and the ongoing work of the initiative is inspirational in that it calls through the complexity of possible actions to mitigate and adapt the demand or utilization of fossil fuels, to provide areas for focusing on our support of current and future initiatives at the local and regional level. Also, it somewhat provides a map of helping frame a more comprehensive energy and thus climate mitigation approach for policy development and implementation at the larger scale. But if one really wants to see that we are active participants in this vision, not only through possible political and advocacy lens, but also as consumers, this implies that we are depending on businesses and corporations to innovate and tap supply chains that are minimizing both their carbon and ecological footprints. So where am I going with all this? Through my lens, historically, the department has shied away from understanding and engaging with the business sector. And many of our students come in with the perception that this private sector is the enemy. I've found that such a perception is naive. It does not really reflect any depth of understanding of the systems under which these students live and work. Thus, I think it is incumbent upon the department as we embark upon our strategic visioning to broaden the scope of how we put our best foot forward in the competitive field of higher education, to embrace this corporate sector, both to learn how to be effective change agents for them, not only externally, but internally, to marshal their innovation, their resources, and their networks to facilitate the needed rapid response to address the existential reality, I would say the emergency of the ramifications of climate change. So enough of this. I hope we can continue to discuss this and look forward to someone else's more in-depth thoughts regarding the importance of humanities, such as arts and philosophy, public health, iSTEM, and the other ideas that emerged at the last faculty meeting. Well, thank you for your patience. And I'm going to sign off now. So you can hang up if you'd like.